I'm Ryan,
I'm Julie.
and this is the Stories We Leave You.
Welcome back to part 2. To recap from last time, I found out I have a half-sister from my dad who is 16 years old, and she was getting ready to come visit. She has visited, and we're going to talk about that. Apologies in advance. I have been sick, and I may sound like crap. We're also recording at night, and our 3-year-old is in the room. So if you hear any noise, apologies for that. There's also a cat outside the door.
It's like they know.
The joys of having a podcast when you have children and pets. So here we are. Okay. So Finley, our youngest. No, he's not our youngest. Shut the fuck up. Finley.
You shut the fuck up.
So my sister came to visit last weekend
For Finley's birthday.
Finley turned 6 this last week. And it was her boyfriend, her mom, and her mom's boyfriend. They drove. They live about 3 hours away in the town where I grew up. I was pretty nervous leading up to it just because I guess it's that unknown. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how it would be like seeing each other the first time or any of that. Could you tell I was nervous?
I mean, I knew you were internalizing everything. You're not one to be like, I don't know, you don't really have like super observant, nervous habits or anything.
Yeah, I live in my head a lot.
Yeah, like on the daily. So it
Mm-hmm.
to the untrained eye, you were acting normal. I mean, I
Yeah.
knew you were probably stressed out and nervous and excited and fearful and all the things. But no, I mean, I think you were pretty calm and collected, but you're an analyzer. So
Mhm.
I knew that's where your brain was going to be all day.
Yeah. I think I just tried to busy myself and
I mean, we had Finn's party to set up for and things to kind of keep your mind occupied.
so anyway, they had some kind of tournament going on that day, so they ended up not being able to be there as soon as they wanted to. So they showed up while we were there. When they got there, I was kind of nervous, like, oh my gosh, they're here. I can see them across the parking lot. Here they come. What's going to happen? Are we going to hug? Am I going to cry? We did hug. I did not cry. I feel like things were easy. I feel like they clicked pretty well. We pretty much chatted the whole night and didn't hate each other by the end of the night. So they came to Finley's birthday party the next morning at the reptile room with his school friends. So they got to see us again, which Finley was really excited.
Yeah, I mean, when they walked up, I wasn't really, I mean, I was cooking, but I didn't really know what to do. Just kind of like, let you do your thing.
Yeah, I feel like that's how we all were, though. Like, what do we do? How do we maneuver this?
Well, it's not just like meeting a new friend. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, we know how this goes like on TV, but like in real life,
Yeah.
it went pretty smoothly. I mean,
Yeah.
luckily they weren't dicks.
Yeah, they weren't dicks. I don't think they thought we were dicks. Yeah, we talked. We got to know each other a little bit, took some pictures, and liked them enough that we invited them to Finley's birthday party the next morning with his school friends at the reptile place, which was really fun. And we went after that and visited my dad at the hospital, which I'll get more into that in a minute. They came over for dinner that night, and then we went to the zoo the next day in the rain, and they went home. So it was a really fun weekend. We ended up like hanging out the whole weekend. So I think that was a good thing. I feel like the whole weekend went pretty well. We got along, we laughed, we talked. It was interesting just because it's like I don't really know her. I don't really know them. And, like, I even joked with them at one point when they were over for dinner, like, "Yeah, I asked Ryan if we should invite you guys to stay with us, but then also you guys are strangers, so that seems kinda weird to invite someone you literally don't know into your house." But it's like, she's my sister. Like, I want to get to know her, I wanna spend time with her, but then it's also like, I don't know her at all.
Still a stranger.
Yeah. So now it's, I guess, just kind of trying to get to know each other.
Yeah, like I said before that I don't know if I'd be so open so quickly
Mhm.
to somebody. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I would have put up walls and you basically don't have any.
I don't know, I feel like I almost have this, like, protectiveness over her.
Is that because she's younger than you? A
Maybe,
lot younger than you?
maybe.
Is it because you've always wanted a sister? Is it because you have that instinct already because you have 2 younger brothers?
I think part of it is because my dad didn't wanna have anything to do with her or her brother, and
But she does have a dad.
yes, she has a
Somebody
dad who
who
raised her,
yeah, so let's not forget that she does have a
but that doesn't mean that yes, she has 2 parents who have raised her and who have loved her. That doesn't mean that she doesn't in some way feel rejected or abandoned, because that is common even among children who were adopted and were raised by 2 loving parents. That doesn't mean they're not gonna feel rejected or anything by their birth parents.
do you feel rejected or abandoned
By who?
by your dad?
No?
Okay, I was just
Why would I?
I don't know, maybe you felt some kinda way.
I feel other kind of ways. Not that kind of way. But I think that's part of it is that I mean, I don't know how she feels about it, but I don't want her to feel like just because my dad was a loser and rejected her or rejected the idea of being involved in her life
Mhm.
doesn't mean that, like, we have to reject that, you know? There's still an opportunity for us to have some kind of connection, him aside from the whole thing.
Well, I mean, she's only 16, and I had to keep, like, reminding myself of that because her and her boyfriend are just they're children. And she's got a lot of growing up to do. She's gonna have and maybe she won't, but there's a lot of life left to process and deal with or reject or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe she's at an age where, it is what it is, and she's young enough still where it's like, "Well, okay, nothing in my life is different
Mhm.
on that." Like, she didn't lose anything. If anything, she gained something. So how was it not only introducing her to your dad, but you seeing your dad?
Okay, well, we're not there yet.
Okay.
We have some stuff to cover before that.
Like?
Well, I have things that I wanna say about the
Oh.
emotions.
Oh, okay. Emotions, go. What kind? Kind did you have?
Okay, so we already said, like, I had just told my therapist before all of this happened that I don't know how to make friends. So that plays into, like, I don't know how to get to know somebody. I feel like I either don't say anything because I don't know what to say, or I, like, say too much. Like, I ask too many questions or I tell too much about myself.
Mhm.
So, while she was here, I tried to ask questions. Her mom and I, of course, had lots of stuff to talk about because we're, like, the same age. We're both moms. We both had twins. So, there was a lot of stuff to talk about. And at one point, she made the comment, like, "I feel like you and my mom are bonding more than you and me." And so then I was like, "Oh my gosh, is she, like, feeling like I don't wanna bond with her?"
I thought it was weird how over analytical you were being because you normally don't express those things. So the fact that you were worried that this person that you just met is worried that you're not bonding enough with her and things like that. I'm like, why? Like, how?
First of all, I'm always analytical.
I know, but you
I just
are
don't always express it
you're
out loud.
silently analytical. So the fact that you were actually expressing those things out loud was like weird to hear. Because I'm like, why? I wouldn't even be concerned about that yet because we all just met. So it's like,
Again, I think it plays into my dad not wanting to have anything to do with her,
uh
and we'll get into the meeting with my dad in a second, but, like, kind of the same thing, like, she also felt like he didn't wanna have anything to do with her.
uh
So, I don't know, it was like I didn't want her to feel like
you don't want to project any of that.
yeah, like, I didn't want her
Makes
to think
sense.
that I do wanna get to know her.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, it's more important that I get to know her than it is her mom. Besides her, like, her
Yeah.
mom and I don't necessarily have, like, a connection. Not that, like, I don't like her mom and I know her mom's gonna be involved, and that's all great. But, yeah, she was very talkative the first night. She was pretty talkative the second day. And then I feel like after the meeting with my dad, she was kinda quiet. Like, she was kinda quiet that night, which, I mean, it was a big day. There was a lot of stuff happening, a lot to process. And then I felt like at the last day at the zoo, she was kind of quiet, but also it was, like, a big group of us. I had all the kids. Her and Finley hung out. They were like little besties, which was really cute. Yeah, and I don't know her, so I don't know how to read her or read her reactions yet. Yes, I overanalyze everything, and it just left me wondering, like, did I do something wrong? Did I say something wrong? Do they hate me? Like, did I offend someone? Or are we cool? I actually texted her after they had gone home and, I asked her how she was feeling about everything. And I mentioned that I noticed she was kind of quiet. And she basically said, like, she had a lot of fun with all of us. Like, that was the best part of the whole weekend was hanging out with us. But she was hoping that, maybe dad had changed his mind. And, it's hurtful to know that her biological dad doesn't want anything to do with her after 16 years. So I get it. Like, I'm sure she was hurt. I'm sure there was a lot to process. And honestly, I was probably a little quiet over everything too. But if I had just gone through that kind of experience, I probably would have been quiet. So, yeah, so I guess that leads us into what happened meeting my dad. So, both my brothers abandoned me, and I was on my own. So, Finley went with me instead because,
'Cause I didn't go either.
yeah, which that's fine. You needed to stay with the other kids. But Finley wanted to go because Finley and I had had a conversation that week about how half siblings come to be, how I wasn't close to my dad because he wasn't very nice when I was growing up. I feel like because of all the stories we talked about, he kind of just wanted to meet the person behind the stories. He's also just a very curious little guy. So Finley went with me. We all drove up there. The whole way there, I was so nervous, had knots in my stomach, had to keep taking, like, big breaths, thought I was gonna cry a couple of times. We get there, you go up, give them your name, you check in, give them your ID, and they print out, like, a little tag and tell you what room the person's in. So, we got all that, we went up, and I was like, "Okay, why don't you guys wait in the hallway, and we'll go in first, me and Finley." So, me and Finn went in, my dad was asleep, and we went around, and I, like, kinda, like, touched his arm and was like, "Dad," and he opened his eyes and was kinda like I think it took him a second to realize what he was seeing. Once it registered that it was me, he seemed excited. So he started talking to me, started talking to Finley. I mentioned it was Finley's birthday, so he started asking Finley all these questions, and I let him talk to him for a couple minutes, and then I was like, "Well, we're here because there's somebody else that wants to meet you." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, who's that?" I'm like, "Well, do you remember dating this person?" And he was like, "No." I'm like, "Well, you got that person pregnant, and I have a sister, and they wanna meet you." And he was like, "Oh, okay. Well, bring him in." And he had to, like, sit up. He was still laying down. He's like, "Let me get set up." And so I went and got them and had them come in, and when they came in the room, I was like, "Okay, now do you remember this person?" He was like, "Yeah." I introduced my sister and told him her name, how old she was. I was so nervous for it because I hadn't seen him in 3 years, but it went exactly like I thought it was gonna go. Like, he is the exact same person. We did not directly say, like, "Do you remember saying you don't wanna be involved? Do you remember that you're a deadbeat dad?" Like, nobody confronted him about it, but it was just like, "Here she is."
I feel like it would take a couple more, like, family visits
Yeah,
to break down that barrier.
yeah,
Not like,
and
"Hey, here's this brand new person who you didn't know." Well, you did know existed, but didn't want anything to do
yeah.
with.
Yeah, he was just his, like, normal, like, telling dad jokes and talking about himself a lot. I feel like his memory is really weird. He asked about her dad and the reference of her mom's boyfriend at the time and was like, "How's he doing?" So he remembered him, and then at some point he goes, "Wasn't there another one? A boy that died? Was that mine?" She was like, "Yeah, he was yours too." And so
Seeing that they were twins and all.
yeah. So those little comments made me think like, okay, you remember that she was pregnant. I have a feeling he remembers that he chose not to be in their lives. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like he remembers. I don't know. He asked me a lot of questions because obviously he hasn't seen me in 3 years and wanted to catch up. He did try to direct a few questions at her, but again, it seems like his memory isn't great because she said, "I'm in high school." And then he kept asking her if she was in college. And it was like, "Okay, is your short-term memory not great?" And he kept getting people mixed up in the room. It was interesting. And then he told me that there was a black woman, a black nurse, that came into the room and sat in the room the other day before he went to do some test. And he thought it was me. And he kept asking her questions about like you and Jeremy. And he was like, and then she got closer and I noticed these bumps on her face. And that's when I realized it wasn't you. And I was like, her black skin
The blackness.
didn't tip you off? And he was like, "No." Like, just matter of fact, "No." So, I don't know, like, it's hard to tell where his brain and memory and everything is, but, yeah, I mean, it was fine. It was like a normal visit with my dad. Dad jokes, asking questions, talking about himself, talking about his experience in the hospital, the things he's unhappy with, saying he's gonna leave, he wants to get home,
Same
someone's gonna come get him.
same song and dance.
Yes, it's always the same. So, a couple of times I turned to my sister and I'm like, "Do you have any questions? Do you wanna say anything?" And she was like, "No, I'm good." So she ended up not really talking, not really saying much to him, and when we left, she was like, "Yeah, I just feel like he doesn't care."
I wonder if she wanted him to care at all. I don't know what she was expecting.
I don't know. I mean, I think she expected him not to really give a shit because he chose not to be involved in the first place. But I don't know, maybe she was hoping for an apology or something, but sorry, that's not dad. He doesn't take any accountability, he doesn't apologize for things. So, sorry to tell you that. She did say him not caring made it easier, I think, because that's kind of like what
He's
she
not losing
expected.
anything,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't 100% know that he doesn't care. But I think that he cared more that I was there because he hasn't seen me in 3 years. I'm the daughter he's raised. Well, raised, air quotes.
If he does remember not wanting to deal with that, then that was a big out of sight, out of mind. Like, it probably yeah, unfortunately, it probably didn't make any difference
Yeah.
that she was there to meet him. He probably didn't have 2 thoughts about it.
Yeah, and he may not. He
Uh,
may really not give a shit. I'm curious to see. I did tell him I would come back with the other kids so he could see them, and I am very curious to see what he says about it. Because I actually do kind of want to confront him about it and be like, "So, you chose not to be in her life?" I don't know. I'm just tired of, like, one, I'm tired of men in general being able just to
get
have
away with
sex
shit.
yeah, have sex with whoever they want and then be like, I have a real family over here, so you were just a fun little project on the side. That's your problem now." The fact that they can do that and have 0 accountability for that kind of shit is so
Mhm.
stupid. But then also just my dad as a person, as an asshole, I'm tired of him not being held accountable for things. We've never talked about my childhood and all the shit that he did, and the fact that he had told my brother, Justin, he's been upset because he's been in the hospital for so long, and he was crying to him about it, and he's like, "I never did anything to anybody." And that comment just blows my mind because literally he has done things to every person that he has loved, every person that's supposed to be important to him, he
Mhm.
has done something to hurt them, whether it be physical or emotional. He's
Mhm.
done something. So there's a huge part of me that's like, he's never going to take accountability for it. I'm not expecting an apology. I'm not expecting even an admission.
Well, I feel like even if he said, "Well, I'm sorry," it's not gonna really hold much weight.
Yeah. But there's a part of me that I'm like, I kept wondering, like, he did read my shirt, so I'm like, "Okay, he can read, so maybe I should write him a letter." He'll just put it in big type. But then I'm like, "Is he gonna make it through? Is he gonna remember it?" Maybe I'll record it on a tape recorder so he knows how to work it, but then he'll probably just throw it across the room and break it.
Tape recorder.
I don't know. But, yeah, there's a part of me that wants to, like, hold him accountable and be like, "You know what? Here's all the things you did to me that you don't seem to remember, but also, like, you gave up 2 kids. Who knows if you gave up other kids or not, chose not to be in their lives. You're a dick. And before you die, you need to know about it, because you need to die with the thought in my head, 'I'm a dick.' I'll put it on a shirt. You can wear it on your deathbed. How about that?"
Sounds like you need another therapy session.
I was supposed to have therapy today,
Well,
but I'm sick. So,
and it's all coming in.
I didn't go. I didn't wanna get her sick, so I'm gonna see her next week.
Okay, well, off of your dad,
Yeah,
because I'm done talking about him. No
me
offense.
too.
Where do you stand with everything and everyone moving forward?
I felt like we all just kind of needed, like, some processing time, so I didn't say a lot until I just texted her today. We're planning some things together, nothing on the books, but definitely the interest is there to, like, hang out again. So, I feel like things went well. I feel like we're in a good place where it's like, "Hey, let's hang out again," but, yeah, like you said, there's no, like, pressure to, like, we have to hang out all the time or something.
All right, I'm done. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. I'm having a hard time between things trying to come out of my nose and my throat being dry.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say things coming out of your butt.
Nope, not that kind of sickness, thank goodness. But if anyone else has navigated this type of situation where you found a long lost sibling or met a new sibling, then I'd love to hear your story. So find us at the stories we leave you on Instagram. Send me a DM. Let me know your situation. I want to hear. And as always, if you like what you're hearing, follow us, like our show, and yeah, let us know what you think.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.